So two people that I'm excited about, which made me want to review this show, are Trina, whoop whoop, and Amara Negra. I've been following her for a really long time on Instagram. She was a part of a huge natural hair movement in Brazil, which is not, well, I was going to say weird, but you know, maybe that's not weird. She was a part of a huge natural hair movement in Brazil, although she's Dominican. I started following her because of Brazilian, like, natural hair Instagram was reposting her a lot. So I was really excited to see that she was given this opportunity, because I get like a lot of people are upset, or not upset, but like are over her talking about colorism. But if you don't know Amara, I'm sorry, I live next to a train station, so you gotta deal with that. Don't know Amara, you don't know that this is what she does. Like, she talks about colorism in the Latino community. A very proud Black Afro-Latina. Like, she talks about it a lot. If you have been following her, then you're not surprised, but a lot of people are like, oh my goodness, girl, stop talking about it. And I'm like, this is who she is. Like, this is how I came to start following her, because this is what she was talking about, and I was very interested in learning about her journey and just the similarities that we have outside of skin color, you know what I mean? So I'm excited about her on the show, and I've always been a fan of Trina since I was a kid. Since I was way too young to be listening to her music, I've been a fan, so I'm excited about this season. Is Trick Daddy well? Veronica Vega is not my scene. She has not been my scene for a while. I've also known about her before Love and Hip Hop Miami, and she's not my scene just because I'm Team Amara. That's not it. She hasn't been my scene since she released this song called Niggas Ain't S. It was like some hip hop song, and she was just talking about how horrible niggas are. And I get that she was using a terminology that Black Americans use in our community, but she's not of the community. You know what I mean? And I feel like maybe the Black men that she was sleeping with allowed her to be far too comfortable with the culture, because that's how a lot of non-Black women get into the culture and start puffing up their chests, per se, and start you know, using our terminology, talking down to Black women. Like, it's because there are Black men who are sleeping with them and dating them and marrying them and having kids with them, feeding them this chutzpah. That's what I get from Veronica, and that's why I cannot stand her. Because even when people were coming at her back in the day about that song, she was responding like, what? Niggas ain't. And I was just like, girl, you don't get it. You don't get it. That's another problem that I have with her, because she represents a lot of culture vultures of the Black American experience and culture. It happens a lot because our music and just the Black experience was built in resistance. You know what I mean? That's why we let our hair grow up and high, because we were told that our hair was ugly and hideous and that we had to change it. And that's why, you know, we're all about Black girl magic and Black love, because our relationships was torn apart. And there's so much into that, and it comes out in our music. It comes out in how we dress. It comes out in how we say things. It comes out in just our being, right? And other cultures look at that and they are mesmerized by that, because it's a resistance. It is a resistance to the status quo. And so then we are inadvertently considered cool. So a lot of non-Black people jump on that, but they jump on when their career is either failing or when they're trying to get their career somewhere. And then what happens when they get established, they drop the Black scent and they drop the whole Black culture, and then they become super like Latino, super white all of a sudden, you know what I mean? No shade, but there are a lot of artists who do that. So it's not just Veronica who does that. And that's what bothers me about, because I feel like that's what she represents on this show. And also, girl, why would you allow Mona Scott Young to give you this storyline? Her and Young Hollywood, I'm like, you guys are idiots. I don't know if they really feel this way, but it's not smart. You're trying to get people to know you for your work, to know you for your music, to want to become fans of you. You're trying to take off like Cardi B. Why would you allow yourself to have this storyline? It's not smart. Now let's talk about Bobby, also known as Bert. I like him, right? But I feel like he's very extra, and I feel like he keeps on bringing up Trina in his storyline. And yes, I'm a fan of Trina, but this is not why I'm saying it. He says that she's not doing this stuff with his career or any of that. But I honestly feel like Trina is only on this show to help Bobby, because I love Trina, but she is not offering anything. I think she is on this show just to put the people in her life that she loves on, because there is no storylines really around Trina. She's just used as a name to get on the show, but you don't see her. Now, let's get into the episode. First of all, why does everybody on this show look embalmed? We open up with that ice cream cone assault, and can I tell you, I would feel the same way. That girl is in her feelings about Shay bopping her on the head with that ice cream cone. Listen, I wasn't here for Auntie Shay because I felt like she read really old compared to Pleasure P, who, didn't he have like a scandal with a pastor and children? How was he on this show? Woo! I tell you, this show is just bringing everybody back. But anyway, she just read really old to me. And so just how she was dressing and the wigs that she was wearing. So I was just like, Shay, you on this show looking like an auntie and you trying to be like on the arm of this young guy. It just, the relationship is off to me. And I think it's just because of how Shay is dressing. That's what it is. Because she acting like a young girl, but it's just the way she's dressing is very dated. She's giving me cachet. How old is Baby Blue? Because not only does he look older than everybody else in the cast, but he also has a lot of wisdom. Like, he gives me, like Shay, although Shay dresses old, Baby Blue just gives me old. Like, he's been here before. Maybe he's an old soul. Because he is really the voice of reason. Like, he's given Pleasure P a lot of wisdom in this situation. And compared to how we were introduced to him, I'm shocked. And then we have this scene with Fine as Wine Jeffrey and Never Been in a Closet Malik. Baby Malik, boo-boo. You have to stop that, like, kill this storyline of you being closeted and everything and not really wanting to come out and everybody thinking you're straight because, honey, you were never in a closet. If you were in a closet, it was crystal clear. Okay, honey? Before you even said anything, before you established your storyline, I knew you were gay. So let's drop that right now. And it's feminine. Feminine. Struggled there a bit. Really weird because I believe that Jeffrey and Malik are in some kind of relationship, but I don't believe that Jeffrey and Bert are, Jesus, Jeffrey and Bobby? Is that his name? Oh gosh, I'm calling him Bert. Sorry. Jeffrey and Bobby Light. I don't believe them, but I believe Jeffrey and Malik. They actually did have a relationship back in the day because the tension between them is thick. Jeffrey is so fine. No. One can wonder. Okay, so here's the section where I spend a little bit of time on Amara because I feel like she has to be broken down for people who don't really understand her. First of all, slay sis. I love her outfit. I love how she just loves her body. She loves her hair. I love everything about Amara. I really, really do. I'm glad that she is checking her friends who are basura. Her friends are trash. Steph and Veronica are not friends. And here is Veronica and Steph. Nobody asked you to get involved between Young Hollywood and Amara. Veronica, you could have just worked with Young Hollywood and it wouldn't have been a problem. Maybe Amara would have addressed it later, but you didn't have to do the whole, oh, I'll go out with you if you apologize to my girl. That's what you were doing. So you can't get mad that something that you were trying to work out did not go the way you planned. And Steph, what are you doing? Like, I felt like her being Haitian, she would understand, but maybe because she's light-skinned, I don't know what it is, but I'm just shocked that she's not feeling a way about the things that Amara is saying and not relating to her feelings. Like, I just, it's weird for me that she's not getting that. I get that she's light-skinned, but she's also black. Like, I got light-skinned family members and friends. They understand, you know, they get colorism. And yes, there are some people who don't, but it's just like, the majority of us get it. So I just don't, maybe, I don't know, maybe because the culture is different. I don't know, but it's just weird to me that she's just so like oblivious and it's just like, oh, it's not that big of a deal. And I'm like, girl, he literally said, he called her a freaking Nutella queen. Did she tell you that? That scene had me heated. I'm glad I didn't review that scene, that episode, because I just felt like it just would have been very angry because he was just so ignorant to her. Moving on from that, I get Amara being upset about the apology. Like, Young Hollywood didn't really apologize. He was further insulting her. And we'll see in an upcoming episode that he doesn't really care. Like, he does not apologize for his behavior or the things that he said. At the end of the day, we just got to really be honest. And Veronica, I wish she would have said that, but I think she doesn't want to go too deeply into the racism and colorism in the Latino community. So she's really like, she's really taking it easy, but I wish he just would have said, what he said to me was racist, and it hurt my feelings because it is something that I have been dealing with as a Afro-Latino for all my life. Something like, girl, you gotta let these people know, because I feel like she's trying to be too nice about it. And maybe she's a girl who don't really deal with conflict. But Veronica is a girl who deals with conflict. Like, she was already ready to go there with her. And I was just, like, I understood. But then I just was like, girl, you got to make a decision at some point. Your friends are trash. And maybe you don't feel comfortable. I don't know her background really. But I have seen, like, I have been following her on Instagram. And she has a lot of Latino friends. A lot of white passing Latino friends. So this is what you need to do, Amara. I really feel like you need to get black friends in your life, specifically Black American. Here is why. You look like us. You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, we family, okay? Different culture. But girl, you need to be around some sisters who can tell you how to navigate this United States of America, because it's a whole different ball game over here. And I get that you deal with it in your community, but you are not in the DR, baby. You are in America, and you need to get around some Black American people who can tell you how to deal with microaggression, who can tell you how to deal with racism at work, who can tell you how to deal with colorism in America. And I get she wants to deal with it in her community, but you also have to get the wisdom and the strength from the people who have been doing it since our beginning out here. You know what I mean? Like, she got to change her community. She really, really does. She has to change her community, because you're surrounded by people who don't get it. And you're getting frustrated because they don't understand. And maybe because Steph is light, she just don't get it. Maybe Steph don't got no dark-skinned people in her family and she don't understand. Maybe Veronica don't got no dark-skinned people in her family, because I think she's Afro-Latino as well. I think we in there. We got to be in there somewhere. So maybe they just don't get it and they just don't understand because it's not something that they deal with. But I also don't think that you have to deal with it to understand it to a certain extent. You know what I mean? My sisters are like, they understand colorism. You know what I mean? They might not feel it the way I feel it because of what I've dealt with, but they get it. Her friends don't get it. So you got to get around people who get it, boo, because you're going to continue to go through this. And I'm telling you, I was so happy for you to be on the show, and I am riding for you. However, it's not that I'm tiring of your colorism storyline. I'm tiring of you being the victim. And here is why. Because it's a TV show, I need you gotta make a turn for the viewing audience, because you crying and breaking down because these light-skinned people in your community don't get it or saying these mean things to you. To people who experience that, it's traumatizing, and you're not likable anymore. Your scenes aren't likable anymore because all I'm doing is getting traumatized. There's no growth. You're not clapping back. You know what I mean? You're crying, you're breaking down, and you're walking out. And I get it. You know, this is maybe the first few days of filming. I understand, sweetie, but I need you to make a turn. I need you to get with Trina. I need you to get with some Black people on this show, and I need you to get some strength and some power and some strength, courage, and wisdom. Okay, Angie Stone? And I need you to get it together, because I can't keep on watching this and beating myself up every time you cry because them light-skinned people are treating you mean. I know what it's like. I don't need to relive it. I have no words. I mean, I don't even know what to say, but Kiara's butt, girl, like, how? I don't need to know. And speaking of Kiara and her butt, sis, I don't know why you are in your feelings over this decomposing Goofy. Like, let gunplay go. You and your bulletproof butt can do so much better. Believe in yourself. So Veronica and the retelling of this story, sis, you a damn lie. You know none of that happened, but this is what happens when people retell stories and they know that they are in the wrong. Veronica is retelling this whole story about her and her little issue or her scuffle with Amara, and she's telling it like she's an angel. You know what I mean? She's not talking about how she jumped up and clapped in her face and told her that to get over it. Never tell people who are hurting to get over it, especially if you've never dealt with it. You know what I mean? And just her retelling the story to JoJo, I'm like, oh, so you know you were wrong because you're leaving out all of the negative parts concerning you, and you're retelling it in a way to get somebody who was not there to be on your side. So you know you was wrong. You know that everything that you said was inappropriate. So you get it. This is what I'm talking about, that microaggression. Like, they know. I'm telling you. Oppressors know what they're doing. When people say they don't see race, they don't see skin color, and you know, we're all one people. I'm not racist. I don't have a racist bone in my body. Your actions reveal you every time. And the fact that homegirl left out all the colorism, all that mess from young Hollywood, lets me know that she knew that was wrong. She doesn't want to address it because she doesn't care. It does not affect her, and it's happening to somebody who she believes that she is better than. She was probably told by black men that she was better than somebody that looked like that. She was probably told by the people in her community that dark-skinned chicks are beneath her. She's the type. Veronica is the type. Every dark-skinned chick has dealt with a chick like this. I'm telling you. I see who she is, and I don't like it. Let's get into Trina and her help. I don't understand why Trina is allowing her assistant to be so bold and so nasty and so negative to her blood cousin. Listen, Bobby is a lot, right? However, Kelvin, whatever his name is, you are the help. You are to be seen and not heard. You are there to assist Trina. She is letting him get too comfortable. I think that's the word for this season. Too comfortable. Black men have allowed Veronica Vega to get too comfortable in the culture. Young Hollywood too, because it's only black men giving him a pass to act like that and to speak like that on our peoples and our culture. And the same thing happens with Trina and her assistant. She is allowing him to get way too comfortable the way he's like, Bobby isn't even there. And he's like, well, millionaire, so I'll check up on him. Okay. It was too much and it was just over the top. And the fact that she sat there and laughed. Listen, I got people in my family I don't even rock with, right? However, my assistant, intern, whoever works for me will never come from my family member. I don't care if I don't like them. I don't care if I don't rock with them. That's still my blood. You don't have no voice when it comes to my kin. So it really bothers me that she allows her assistant to speak to Bobby like that, to even get into a scuffle with Bobby. Like, check Bobby by himself, you know, and then you get with your assistant and you make sure they're okay. You do the boss things. But the fact that she's leading like this, I'm just like, this is going to get messy. This is not a good look for you. You do not look like a good boss. Jeffrey, all it took was a wine cooler and a book bag to get you to cheat on Bert. So I like Prince, you know what I mean? Like, he gives me Dominican Will Smith. I don't like him enough to watch a whole season of him. I'm sorry. I really, really don't. Like, I get that he's a club promoter or whatever, but that just doesn't seem, maybe clubs are big in Miami. It just doesn't seem like that is the storyline that resonates with everybody. And how is he promoting clubs and he don't even look old enough to drink? That's the storyline I want to know. How old is he really? I like him, but this scene with him and Gabby towards the end rubbed me the wrong way. Like, I don't know if he knew that he still had his mic on. I don't know what was going on, but he introduced Gabby as like a family friend. Like, he was saying it like they had like some brother-sister relationship. And then at the end, he's talking about messing up the sheets with her and he's trying to get her drunk and wasted. I was just like, this sound rapey. You know what I mean? I was like, this is how them Lifetime movie, you know, date rape college movies start off. And just as I said that I did not care for a storyline from him, this scene with him and Liz was delicious. First of all, when she started throwing his clothes out and then decided to bleach half, I said, yes, sis, multitask. Bleach half, throw out the rest. And then I don't know what was going on, but I don't know why Prince decided to take off his shirt to climb. Like, it didn't make sense. I'm like, why are you trying to take off your shirt to climb into the window to get your clothes? Like, it was never going to happen. So it just did not make sense to me. But just seeing him trying to climb into that window in them skinny jeans and them church shoes with that helmet, listen, if it's going to be messy like this, then I'll rock with Prince. Anything else, that club promoting stuff, cut it. And who from production gave him a trash bag? Like, let's be clear about the edits. Y'all getting real messy with the edits. Y'all got a nice budget, but your edits is sloppy. So Bobby and Prince need new hairstyles. I think it's because they're very skinny, and skinny people tend to have big heads. It's true. And I think because they have these skinny bodies, big heads, their hair is just, the hairstyle that they chose for themselves does not look good on them. Like, I'm telling you, Bobby gives me Bert. It's because of the hair. It's like all in one little section. And then the same thing with Prince. I think whoever cut his hair cut off too much on the sides, and it's like a miniature Jerry curl box. It's weird. I'm shaking. Yes, Bobby, give me drama, darling. I don't believe your storyline, but I like how you go for it. It really rubs me the wrong way, and it's sad because I like her music, but just so far on this show, I just, she rubs me the wrong way because she's Haitian and she didn't stick up for Amara. And I'm not saying that all Haitian people have to stick up for dark-skinned people, but I'm just like, how do you not get it? I get that you're light-skinned, but come on, sis. Needs to just zip and get over it. Really, Steph? Really? I wasn't here for JoJo or her storyline because what I did not need is to see her father berate her mother this entire season. Because here's why. I think that her mother and her father have a real relationship. And I think for them, when I watch their scenes, I feel like it's real. So when the dad is saying all this negative stuff about the mom and she's crying and JoJo's trying to comfort her, that's uncomfortable for me to watch. And I don't think that that's what Love and Hip Hop is. This show is messy. I think this season is becoming a bit heavy with like, you know, the colorism talk. You have this older relationship that's breaking up and the father is kind of abusive. I wasn't here for it, right? But I am here for how, not just because she stood up for Amara, I just liked what she did. Like, Veronica and Steph in Young Hollywood, were talking about Amara, right? JoJo, who was a friend of Amara, I didn't know that, but I guess she is, was just like, I don't like how you guys are talking about her behind her back, so I'm a step. I respected that. I really, really did, because to me, that was just like, if you can't say it in front of her face, don't say it to me. You know what I mean? Like, it was a punk move, and it looks mad corny when you're sitting there talking about somebody and they're not there. If you so big and bad and tough, get that person in the room and say what you're gonna say. So I really respected her, and she was just like, nah, I'm not here for that. I'm a bounce. And she got up and left. I love how she even voiced it, because she could have just been like, oh, it's time for me to go, or made up some excuse. She said what she said. She said, I don't like this. I don't like what y'all doing, so I'm a bounce. And I was like, okay, JoJo, I may be here for you this season. Keep this up. Everybody on the show can't be messy. We need a hero every now and again, and I think that JoJo gonna be that hero. Prince, in the words of Dwight from The Real Housewives of Atlanta, how are you gonna have a fashion show with no fashions? Because let's talk about this fashion show that Prince had. First of all, this show, like I said before, has a really nice budget, because this was the best fashion show that I have ever seen on this show. Like with the airplane and the models, it looked like a real fashion show. There were just no fashions. What were the women modeling? Like white t-shirts from Walmart and Fashion Nova jeans? It didn't make any sense. I didn't know what his fashion was. It was never mentioned, and it just looked really odd. And Shay pulls up to the building. This is the first time I've ever been excited to see Shay in a scene, because she did not look like Auntie Shay to me. She looked really nice. She had on a nice wig. I loved her outfit. She actually looked her age. She did not look like she was, you know, a mother of the church. You know what I mean? She looked really good this scene, and I like this whole ensemble. That orange thing, I was like, oh yes. This is what I like about these shows. Give me a reason to interact with the show outside of, you know, the time that I'm watching it. You know what I mean? I want to watch the show and want to like be dying to get to Twitter to see what everybody is saying when the show is on commercial break. I want to see what the girls are wearing and be like, yes, what is that? Like, this is what this show is good for. You know, this is what these reality TV shows, especially ones that are geared towards women and younger people, this is what they're good for. Mess and fashion. And I felt like she gave it to me this scene. Since we're here, let's talk about the Kitty family. Wow. Listen, to the Kitty mom and daughter, Chinese Kitty, Norwegian Kitty, whatever your name is, listen. You and your daughter are a procedure away from being Stephen King sleepwalkers. Sis, stop. It seems like you guys are a beautiful family, but the stuff you guys are doing to your face, it's not a good look. Don't let them Instagram followers mess up your mind. I also have to give it to Shay with these reads. Mint chocolate chip and science experiment twins. Shay gets into this scuffle with Gabby. I'm like, girl, let it go. But I realized that she had to do that for filming. But it's just like, y'all met once. You bopped her in the head with an ice cream cone. You got the best of her. Why are you still there? Why do you care, right? So anyway, she goes to Prince's fashion show to try to get at Gabby. And, you know, Gabby is visibly afraid. Gabby got mouth. She ain't got hands. So she's visibly afraid, and she like throws something and then like runs back. And then Shay throws something again, but she gets the little kitty. And then the little kitty's mom, this was real to me. Like, we all know that there's a, you know, a fakeness of all these reality TV shows, but this moment was real, because Mama Kitty said, don't put your hands on my daughter. She pulled Shay's wig back. Shay flew back. The security was not ready to catch her. They cut the cameras off so quick. That let me know that that was a real moment, because when it's not, they like to catch it. They catch the whole scene. When it's the real deal and they don't know how it's going to end, they make sure they cut that mess. They also cut it for insurance purposes, because if anybody on that set want to sue, they want to make sure there are no receipts. Anyway, that's where it ends. I thoroughly enjoyed this episode. I'm really enjoying this season more than New York, which I was going to start reviewing from the beginning, but it just wasn't interesting to me. And Miami really is. I think they have a lot of people on the show that I'm here for, and then there's a lot of people who I could do without, but we'll see. It's still fairly new. I think we're in episode 4 at this point, so there's still a lot more that could happen. The only person I don't ever want to see back is Young Hollywood. I do not like him. I feel like he's bringing an issue to this show that I don't feel like this platform can handle. Although I am glad that they're speaking about it, it's just such a deeper conversation, and the way he is doing it, or I don't know, I just feel like it's sloppy. This conversation that is being brought about is really, really sloppy. I'm hoping that Mona does what she did with gay and gay and hip hop. I'm hoping she does something like that with the Latino community, maybe have a talk back section about that. That would be a lot better than this storyline, because it's just very, very but I have to be real. I don't feel like this is a season for me. Like, you know what I mean? I don't feel like this is this section of the franchise is for Black Americans. I feel like they do have Black Americans on here for us to engage, but I really do feel like this is for the Spanish community, the Latino community. Like, this is the Spanish version of Love and Hip Hop. You know what I mean? And I think that just comes from Mona Scott Young being a great businesswoman. She's tapping into the Black community. She's tapping into the gay community. She's tapping into the Hispanic community. Like, she keeps on trying to get white people on here, but they never really work. You got to get good whites. I'm telling you, go to Philly, go to, there's some good whites in New York who could really rock with this show, who are really about the culture and not like appropriators. Like, y'all can cast a good white person. Y'all can cast a couple good white people, but I don't know what's up with that casting, but she's tapping into all communities. Is Chinese Kitty? No, the Asian representation is... Whew. So she's trying. She really is trying. So I think that comes from her being a good businesswoman, but I'm still going to watch. I think it's a really good show so far. I don't know how the rest of the season's going to go, but I am here for it. And if you like what you see here, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. And I will see you for the following episode of Love and Hip Hop Miami. Bye, guys.